Your call.
Okay. So there's been some the right term is consternation around the final setup. Now, I think it's ridiculous for all of us to blow up about it now because the rules have been in place since the ball was kicked to start the season, which dictated that there would only be the shuffling of the seeds at the back end, which meant that if you finish first, you drop into the second seed, but if the second seed won, you go up to the first seed, which is kind of a little confusing. But anyway, despite that, we knew that, and we also knew that if you finish first and you lose your first week, you cop an L. You still get to host the semi-final the next week. I'm just trying to work out why no one pushed back on it or why this wasn't highlighted early, because it doesn't, for me as a fan watching, seem quite right. So I think if you lose, back of the queue you go. Where do you sit? Are you okay with it, Kevy?
I'm okay with in the consensus of where we are now. I think I reckon my view is that we could do the final system a little bit different, where 1 and 2 get a week off.
Okay.
3 plays 6 and 5 plays 4.
Yep.
Straight knockout. They then go to a final.
And then one would play the winner.
One would play
the
lowest rank.
Gotcha.
Winner, and then basically always at home.
Okay.
And they win that.
Yep.
You got one less game to play one less game to make it to the final. So that I think.
Yes. Okay, that's your compromise. Where do you sit on this whole finals conundrum?
Well, I think one, the big point you make is everyone knew the rules at the start. Everyone and has it first ever been beaten before since the days of top 4 semi-finals?
Maybe one
since
of those.
we went to top 8.
Oh, maybe when the Crusaders snuck through from 4th.
They might have gone to South Africa and won over there.
They beat Lions over there.
The first place Lions?
I think the Lions might have been first place. Anyway,
so one, it's like it's not something you think's going to happen, and then the defending champions sneak into 6th. But I reckon we'll put it this way: it won't be there next year.
I couldn't imagine.
It'll be changed.
Why did none of the clubs push back on it initially?
Well,
so you actually think it's a fair run?
I don't think many analyse it much.
No, but I think if you think about it, though, that, for example...
Not. No, you're right.
If you're saying the way it was, so if the Canes won against the Brumbies away,
yes,
they finished 4th, so how many points behind the Chiefs were they? I think 3 games in the season they lost?
Maybe.
Less?
Yes.
So a long way behind. They then would have hosted a final.
No.
They wouldn't have?
No.
Because the Brumbies...
No, Chiefs still host.
No, they would have.
No, would have. If you're saying that...
In the way we want it to be.
The way we want it to be...
Yes.
The Canes, who finished 4th, who lost with 3 to 4 games behind.
Don't lose.
You can't lose week 1.
You can't lose week 1 and host.
Because there's minimal benefit.
You can't have double, like an extra chance and keep home.
You want to keep pushing for the team to finish top 2, because otherwise later in the season you can go, nah, pull the brakes off. Doesn't matter. As long as we finish top 4, we're sweet.
Mate, if you finish top 2, you get a second chance. You can lose.
That's right.
The Hurricanes lost. They're out.
That's right.
That's the difference.
You should never get the host if you lose. I don't reckon. But
what about neutral venues then?
Where? What's that? Lord Howe Island? Is that where we go? Is that in between here and over there? Where else is it between here and over there?
The mythical Tasmanian AFL stadium that won't be built.
Do it there.
We go to Tassie. I thought it'd be epic.
Like Bamboodle.
Do you know who'd love that? Luke Burgess. Burjo's down and he goes,
he's cheering. He's a good watcher of BTP.
Come on in, boys. Burjo.
You're going to see a bit of Burjo on Stan Sport in a few months?
It's absolutely not a whinge. I couldn't. I mean, even like our colleagues were going, "Hang on, but wait, no, but really?"
But it's something that no one really looked at.
No, but really,
that's
what there are a couple of high-level execs at Canberra who only worked it out when the Blues won. They were like, "Oh, really?
Oh, really?"
Yeah. So,
anyways, it is what it is. It'll be tough for the Brumbies over there in Chiefstown, who'll be smarting after dropping that game. We're going to get to that game in a second.